Hey everybody, welcome back to BobkeTV. Time once again for the Broom Wagon. No races to report. We do have one event from Ghent, Belgium featuring Bradley Wiggins and Fabian Cancellara. We're going to check in with another team kit, Cannondale, and of course the Musette Musings and the tweet of the week. All that up next on the Broom Wagon. Alright everybody, let's get right into the racing. And I'm not sure if this was set up to be a pursuit for real. This is an event in Ghent, Belgium, featuring at the Velodrome, featuring Fabian Cancellara versus Bradley Wiggins on the track. We can see here Cancellara, not a track specialist by any stretch of the imagination, but having a bit of a farewell tour all over Europe and the world for that matter, since winning the Olympic gold medal to highlight the end of his career and go into retirement. He's doing what I thought was an exhibition between himself and Bradley Wiggins. They're pursuing against each other on a very short track in Ghent, Belgium that will be featured in the 6-day, the Ghent 6-day coming up that Bradley Wiggins is set to compete at, but Cancellara had the early advantage, and towards the end it looks like Bradley Wiggins, who was almost visible at one point on the same straightaway as Fabian Cancellara was, so Spartacus rolling up on Wiggo. It doesn't look like Wiggo took too kindly to that. And the last few laps turned into a real battle royale, but to a capacity crowd and the delight of the people in Ghent, Belgium during Fabian Cancellara's send-off. So one thing missing from Cancellara's palmarès, his list of wins, was the hour record. And Wiggins himself has put it way up there in the stratosphere, although it could be argued that Tony Rominger used a similar position, similar bicycle to what is allowed now, maybe even less aerodynamic bicycle than what is allowed now for the riders in the hour record. So perhaps Tony Rominger's hour record should be recognized as the standard, which I think, if I remember correctly, it's close or maybe more, or right around a kilometer further than Bradley Wiggins. Please feel free to write in on that. Let me know. Tony Rominger, the hour record holder, and take a look at old photos of when he broke the hour record and Bradley Wiggins' position in bicycle when he broke and is the recognized hour record holder. Oh, all right, let's take a look at the Cannondale Drapac kit for next year. Some hints of the Argyle are still left in the jersey. Very similar to last year's jersey. Almost, you can't say it's identical, but it's very close. The main difference being new clothing sponsor for the Cannondale squad. That is POC. I'm not sure if they're POC or POC, but be that as it may, that's the new clothing sponsor. I think it's a pretty handsome kit. I like it. Classic black shorts with Drapac on the side and red lettering, and the green shirt. Those are nice jerseys. I like those. And best of luck to the Cannondale squad next year. It was not their best year by any stretch of the imagination. This year they've bolstered their roster with some big superstars, including Sepp Van Mark, and Taylor Finney coming on board. Hugh Carthy, I believe, is racing for them as well. And best of luck to Cannondale after what was a pretty, as far as wins go, pretty thin season for the Cannondale squad. All right, next up, the Musette Musings. In the musings, the Italian judicial system making headlines. The labyrinthian and glacially paced Italian judicial system has handed down a ruling involving 3 team managers, Gianni Savio, Angelo Citracca, and Bruno Reverberi. They represent 3 Italian teams, Androni, Willier Southeast, and Bardiani. They've been accused by the Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera in September of making riders pay to participate in races. One of the riders to testify was none other than Elia Viviani. He tried to apparently have a friend be able to buy out of his contract. Coledon was the rider's name, and join him on the Cannondale squad. So this is sort of been, the Liquigas squad. This is a few years ago, percolating for a while. Those are just 2 of the players, but the team managers involved have been acquitted, and the Italian courts saying that they have not broken any rules, that these are UCI regulations, that you can charge a rider to race on your team, and they basically are providing their own sponsorship to be on a professional bike racing team, which this has been going on for a long time, and it always mystified me as why riders would pay to be on a professional cycling team. I always thought that you turned pro to get paid, that you were paid based on your results, and the better you did, the more money you made. And so that's how every team I ever raced for, that's how it was run. I had heard of riders over the years paying to participate on teams, and I would imagine they had a sugar daddy, a patron who wanted to see them race. Sometimes riders of maybe not professional caliber were engaged, and they provided the teams with a little bit more financial stability, and the team manager could use that money to pay the star riders and actually hire more riders to have a better team. But I always thought that it was imperative that to suffer so much that you're a professional cyclist and do well, you had to get paid. I would never ask somebody to pay for me to be on a team that's sponsored by, that already has a sponsor, that already has a budget. But I'm really surprised that this is still going on. And it shows you how outmoded and broken our financial model is. And we do not have ticket sales to speak of in our sport. The TV rights, very contentious issue amongst team managers. And stadium sports have a built-in ticket and money-making machine. People buy tickets to go see their favorite football teams, and baseball, basketball, soccer. We don't have that in cycling. We also, the team owners, in other sports, the team owners own the sport. They own the TV rights. They set the rules. They hire the umpires. They attract advertisers. They have merchandise sales, ticket sales, and TV rights. They own all that. The owners of cycling teams, whether it's the manager or the sponsor, they don't own the sport. They do not own the TV rights. The people that organize the Tour de France, the ASO, they own the TV rights to the Tour de France and the Vuelta and Paris-Roubaix and Paris-Nice and all of the races that are in their portfolio of races that they promote. And they put on the event, and the best teams in the world aspire to and race in the Tour de France every year. And that's our business model. Team management, ideally, in my mind, you provide a product which is race wins and positive attention for your sponsorship because of those, that makes your jersey that your riders wear a desirable commodity where sponsors see their name and the fans of the sport see the sponsorship agreement between the teams and the companies and patronize those products. That they're, because of their sponsorship of race teams, their sales increase. That is not that is not what's happening in professional cycling for a lot of teams. Astana, I think they're selling tourism to the capital of Kazakhstan for the Astana squad. Vincenzo Nibali won the Giro last year, or this year, excuse me, 2016, won the Tour de France in 2014. But I would be very surprised if they sold any tourist tickets to Astana from any of the millions of people in Italy that go on vacation every year. I would be surprised if any of them went to Kazakhstan for their vacation. Maybe some did, I don't know. So correct me if I'm wrong. Katusha. Katusha is a rocket launcher. I'm not sure even why the bike team is called that. The subtitle is the Russian Cycling Project, which might be more appropriate. Katusha is a portable rocket launcher that can fire multiple missiles from the back of a pickup truck, and they're still in use today, all over the world, as far as I know. So I'm pretty sure that the bike racing team is not promoting the sale and use, I hope not, of Katusha. Katusha rockets, and those are a couple of the biggest teams in the sport of cycling. BMC, they have a very passionate, dedicated, wealthy patron in Andy Reese, and he loves cycling. If BMC is selling so many bicycles that they can afford to sponsor the BMC squad, which is one of the biggest budgeted teams in the whole sport, that I would be surprised. And if that's the case, please, any BMC officials can notify me and let me know what the budget is, what the riders' salary are, and how that translates to bike sales, worldwide bike sales. So if that's the case, I stand corrected. But our business model in cycling is based on the passion of people that are well off enough to support a bike team and indulge in their passion for cycling. And until there's a profound change in the sporting model all over the world, I do not expect that to change. And cycling is a very tough sell in the marketplace. And if you think about it, that's what makes it absolutely delightful. It's not an event that they can really, it's like herding cats. Anybody in the world can go to a mountain, any mountain climb in the Tour de France, and watch the peloton go by for free. That is the allure. That does not make it as lucrative as other sports, but it is one of the main draws of cycling. And I think it's going to stay that way. And in spite of the belly aching of a lot of people out there, that's how it's going to stay. And the riders, professional cyclists, make a fraction of what athletes in other sports make that are as competent and as popular as they are. So it's just something you have to get used to, and committing oneself to poverty might not be that bad of an idea. Let me know how that's going. Anybody out there that's committed themselves to poverty, please let me know, and let me know how it's going. But until then, I'm sure teams will sign contracts with riders that bring in their own sponsors that want to see them in the team kit in the professional bike races. And according to the Italian judicial system, that is not against the law. All right. Also in the Musette Musings, Joaquim Rodriguez is back to racing next year, and it's very interesting to hear why. It's because he felt like the Katusha squad, speak of the devil, had not treated him fairly, and he did not want to leave the sport of cycling the way it ended. The team, if we remember correctly, Rodriguez, one of the most prolific winners in professional cycling, never got the Grand Tour that he deserves, but was on the podium a number of times in Grand Tours, including the Tour de France. Katusha made Rodriguez do 3 extra races at the end of the year: Milano-Torino, Giro Piemonte, and Tour of Lombardia. They insisted that Joaquim Purito Rodriguez race in those, and he was very upset and insulted, and will race for Bahrain Merida for 1 more year. And I'm pretty sure he's going to wreak havoc. I see Joaquim Rodriguez as being a tremendous teammate to Vincenzo Nibali and the other riders that have signed with Bahrain Merida, and it's one of the most brilliant signings of a rider that was thought to be about to retire. And if you think about Joaquim Rodriguez helping his teammates win races, they were always going to be there. He had a great instinct for the right moment to attack, and if he brings that passion and that tactical sense, that nous, that acumen, Bahrain Merida is going to win a lot of races. And so best of luck to Joaquim Rodriguez. In the 2017 cycling season, I thought he was retiring and we wouldn't see Purito anymore, but he'll be back, and it'll be great to watch him race. All right, next up, the tweet of the week. All right, everybody, for tweet of the week, we go back to Matt Brammeyer. I think I had a rather disparaging tweet of the week about Matt way back during the Tirreno Adriatico this spring, when he took exception to Vincenzo Nibali's contention that the roads were passable and this stage should not be canceled because of some snowflakes. But that's a long time ago. So fast forward to now, tweet of the week. This little dude did a good job making me think I had dope control this morning. Pretty remarkable video here. I'm not sure where, when, why, or how this camera had been put on the windowsill, but maybe this bird is a frequent visitor to the Brammeyer household. Wow. That's pretty loud. I could think that would sound like somebody's at the door for sure. Nature is everywhere. Wow. All right. Well, guess it wasn't the UCI doping control doctors coming to the door for a sample. But it does highlight one thing that's common in professional cycling, and that is out of competition testing. Much different than any other professional sport, especially out there, that you have to be available wherever you are throughout the year to provide an anti-doping test sample. And so looked like it was raining wherever the household was, so maybe one of those days when it's better to sleep in, especially in November. All right, everybody, that's it from the wild world of cycling for this week's edition of the Broom Wagon. Remember that you can click on the icon of the BobkeTV up in the corner to subscribe. You can also click on the t-shirt icon to order some t-shirts, and please thumbs up, muchly appreciated. Your comments, I hope there's quite a few of them this week. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter to get all the updates, and Until next time, have a great week, and we'll see what's shaking in the world 1 week from today on the Broom Wagon. Thanks a lot, everybody.